What's up guys, John Killingsworth here, coming in you with a new video on about my recovery from burnout. Last video that I shot about my burnout about 6 to 7 months ago, so it's been quite a while, and I wanted to update you on sort of my progress and how the recovery has been going, the ups and downs, and also for people who, you know, if you think you might be going through burnout or you think you just want to learn more about certain tools and techniques I've used in order to help me recover, this is going to be perfect for you. And for those of you who aren't suffering from burnout, you will get sort of a sneak peek into what I've been up to lately and also why I haven't been recording videos the last 2 weeks. So if you're not interested about my current situation in terms of, you know, my YouTube channel and all that, you can skip ahead maybe a few minutes ahead when I'll be solely talking about burnout. But to give you some quick updates for my viewers, I've actually been sick the last 3 to 4 weeks, which is why I couldn't upload videos recently, which kind of set me back. In a strange way, I think that because I burnt out a few months ago, it seems like maybe my immune system was impaired in some way. And then after I got the flu, right after the flu, it took me like a few weeks to even get back to the same energy levels. And I think I'm still struggling to this day to sort of get my energy back in a strange sort of way. So it's strange what burnout can do to you. It can make it harder for you to recover from certain illnesses, or just when stress happens in your life, seems like it takes you longer to sort of readapt to your sort of normal state, because I think your baseline of energy has been lowered, you know, from chronic stress over a certain period. I think this is what happens, which is why sort of my recovery has been a bit harder. So just to give you some updates about my life, what's been going on, I quit my part-time job recently due to burnout, which I found that to be the best solution. I've spoken to my therapist, also to my doctor, and I felt like they were never going to tell me to actually quit, right? Because I think nobody wants to have the sort of responsibility to put on their clients as to, you know, quitting their job or not. And I think that could, you know, have negative repercussions if they say that to their client, and then it just destroys their life. But I took the decision after long reflection. It took me several months. Actually, I was at this job. If you guys didn't know, I was working at a bank in collections at a call center. So that's pretty high stress job, let's say, where you're constantly talking to clients who are very, you know, money makes people emotional, and when you're calling people that are in debt, that owe money, it can be something very sensitive, like a really sensitive topic. And now I switched over to becoming full-time self-employed, working for my business, so Nameless, this YouTube channel, basically as a full-time coach, life coach. Though I say that I'm full-time, I have sort of taken a break right after I quit my part-time job, you know, before making the leap in, you know, going full-on with you know, coaching clients and all that, just so I can sort of you know, gather myself up, and I don't want to, you know, jump in right away and you know, risk burning out again. I think that would be a foolish move to do. So yeah, I even got the ball rolling, and I started making more videos, as you've seen the last month or two. And I even started getting coaching clients again. So I started coaching, and that was the time after that when I got sick, which was like a month ago or so. And then since then, I've been struggling with energy, and a few weeks later, here I am recording this video. So about my burnout recovery, what have I been doing recently to sort of give you an update, building on the previous videos. You know, about 6 to 7 months ago, I was really feeling better in terms of my sort of mental health, physical health, sort of in terms of energy. I felt the improvements. And then I sort of had this feeling that I was much better. And I thought, okay, you know what? I can return to work soon, work as in my business, not my part-time job, because I quit at the time. And I started making a lot of videos. I even released a new product, and I worked a lot, you know, recently when I got sick. And then I feel like I got, you know, back to square one in a way, which was strange. And this sort of served me as a lesson that, you know, burnout is recovering from burnout, depending on how much you've burnt out and how severe it was. It takes longer than you think. And I learned from that experience that I have to pace myself. And I've noticed that energy, when you're recovering from burnout, will come in waves, meaning on certain days you'll feel very energetic, and on other days you'll feel less so. And it's important for you to listen to your body, and when you feel those dips in energy, to stop, literally stop, to take a break. And that's what I've noticed. But if I didn't take a break, if I tried to push through that, symptoms would get worse and I would feel worse in a way. From this experience, of burning out and then going back to work on my channel and then, getting sick and feeling burnt out again, I realized that I think my best way of working is cyclically, in the sense that what I do best for myself, I believe, is I work for a few months, maybe a month or 2 or 3 months, and then I take an extended break of a few weeks. So, whether that works in quarters, so for example, every 3 months. After my burnout, I felt like my work capacity, unfortunately, has diminished in some way. And on certain, before the burnout, I could go pretty much 100% almost any day. I just wake up, no matter how I feel. I work my ass off. I shoot videos. I coach clients and all that. But now I feel, because I've hit the red zone, quote unquote, it affects your sort of baseline, the way your energy baseline. Now you feel like you can't take on as much anymore. I want to make sure that I respect where my body is at. If you feel like your body's capacity has diminished, that the workload should match, basically that your energy matches the workload, right? And if you try to do more than your energy reserves permit, then you're headed towards burnout again. So I've been struggling with fatigue the last few weeks. So sort of quite fatigue being quite intense on certain days, followed with brain fog, which is basically happens often in the morning, I found. And I found that on certain days I really need to depend on stimulants just to get me going. So for example, to script a video, which I've been postponing this video for like 2 to 3 weeks, right after I got sick. And also bad sleep. So for example, sort of trouble falling asleep, not feeling refreshed when I wake up. This sort of been a issue that's come back, despite working on everything health related. So, I've done meditation, exercise. I do 3 to 4 times a week now. I've done cold showers, red light therapy, taken my supplements, fish oil, magnesium, vitamin B complex, vitamin D, trying to go out and walk in the sun. Those things help tremendously. But despite all these things, I still feel the fatigue still there, which means that I think at that point, when I've done everything in order to recover and get better, I think it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of sustaining those recovery activities for a longer period and not trying to force myself to recover faster than my body tells me to, right? So, because you can't rush recovery. You really can't rush recovery. And in a strange way, if you're trying to rush recovery, that's sort of the same mental toxic loop of like that brought me to my burnout. Is the same sort of paradigm of, I want to ace my YouTube channel, my business. I want to make a lot of money, get a lot of subscribers, which is sort of the mindset, while positive, taking to an extreme actually led me to, was a contributor to my burnout. It wasn't just that, it was other factors, but if I take that same mindset of like sort of this type A personality mindset of go, 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 if I apply that to my recovery, like I need to recover now so I can get back to business as soon as I can, and I sort of try to rush it, that's just going to backfire. So it's been very interesting, trying to teach myself how to, take care of myself in that way. So what has helped me recover? Many things that I've done, especially talking about the mental aspect, keeping things in perspective and sort of reminding me of my past successes, when I've been having, negative thoughts about whether it be my business, my YouTube channel, and all that, keeping things in perspective has really helped me. Because when you're burnt out, usually it has to do often with your work or whatever you're pursuing, and you feel because maybe you had a goal, you didn't reach it, or you thought this job was going to be the one job, but it wasn't. Sort of these disappointments happen, those frustrations happen along with chronic stress. It's normal and it's very common to experience negative thoughts associated with those things. So it's important to keep perspective, sort of to shift your mind to the positives, the things that went well in your life. Because we tend to forget when we're in sort of negative state. As long as you're improving 1% per day or per week in terms of your energy levels, your mental health, it's still good. It's still good even if, your progress is not linear. Some days you have bad days, some days you have good days. As long as, on a, let's say, month by month basis, it's somewhat better, that's what matters. Also, what I've done to recover is really listening to my body. It sounds incredibly simple and straightforward, but I think most people who go through burnout, it's because they were unable to listen to their body. They sort of go about life, they work their ass off, they start to see, problems with their concentration, or they see they're being more nihilistic, more negative towards their work. They have a short fuse. They sort of blow up on their close ones for no reason. They can't sleep. They rely on caffeine. They drink twice as much caffeine as before. And they ignore those signs, then you're just headed to the red zone, as I call it. So you want to catch your body when you're at the sort of yellow zone, when it's starting to get a bit difficult, and you want to monitor yourself at that level. Make sure you don't continue and head towards the red zone, or else you're headed for trouble. So that's one thing I've been doing. Also, setting small goals. So small goals, this is important. I wouldn't say, during the first phase of recovery when you're completely depleted, you can't do anything, just rest for an entire month if you need to. Don't do anything, just watch Netflix and whatever you need to get back to a functional level. When you start getting even 10% functional, you can start setting small goals. For example, me for today was like, send this document to my financial advisor to open my RSP, whatever thing. Okay, I just do that today, and that's it. And if I can shoot the video, amazing. If I don't, well, whatever, I'll try tomorrow. So you set very small goals. And at first, it might be, doing something like, for example, calling the bank might feel like an humongous effort, especially if you're burnt out, stressed out, you don't want to talk to human beings because you're stressed out. It can be an issue. So you want to set very small goals leading to the bigger goals. For example, for me, in my case, it's getting back to coaching clients full time. That's my goal. And while if the goal feels a bit too far, then I'm going to set very small goals leading to that bigger goal. So if coaching full time is a bit hard, then what's before that? Well, I could coach maybe part time, maybe just only get one client per week or something, and that's it. Only coach one person per week, that's it. Not do this full-time thing. Okay, I could do that. What's before that? Well, what's easier is just shooting a video. To me, it's even easier because I've done it for many years. So just shooting a video like on my phone, for example, that would be easier. What's even easier than shooting a video on my phone? Opening Google Drive and just scripting my hypothetical video that I might shoot in the future. Okay, that's even easier. See, so I've baby stepped my way, and I think it's important while recovering from burnout. That's what I've learned from my psychologist, is you want to set small goals to build up your work capacity. So if your work capacity is very low, you're unable to focus on anything, try reading 1 page a day. If you can't read 1 page a day, call it a day, do whatever you want, and try again tomorrow. And you'll see on certain days you'll be able to read read one page, some other days you won't. And the page that you can, try to ride that wave of energy. Of course, you ride that wave, but you don't overexert yourself to the point where you feel worn out, you feel tired, and when you start feeling that way, just stop. And it's important, incredibly important that you do that. So again, tying back to the idea of listening to your body, you want to set small goals plus listen to your body in order to recover. So maybe what the question comes to mind is how long to fully recover, to be back to my, to be back to your 100% work capacity. Well, from my experience right now, I can't tell. I don't know. I've read stories of people who've been burnt out for 2, 3, 4 years. They're taking like 4 years to recover. Some people, they go on a weekend trip and then they're back to normal. It really depends, I think, to the degree that you've been burnt out and for how long. For example, me, I worked at this collection job, call center collections job for 3 years. So that's, the first year was fine. The year and a half was fine. So I've really been burning out for an extended period of like at least 1 to 2 years leading to my crash. So that's quite a long time, 1 to 2 years. So I would guess that to recover from that long of a chronic stress maybe would take maybe a proportionate amount, maybe a whole year. And to me, it's been about 6 to 8 months that I'm sort of building my way back up slowly. So I'm guessing a few more months, hopefully I'll get better. And now I feel like, I'm on an upward trajectory. I think I should get back to normal soon. So for you, if you've been burning out, I can't really tell you an answer. It's really a matter of, the recovery strategies that you're implementing in your life. How many of them are you doing? Are you being consistent, or, you're just eating junk food and not exercising and never going outside? And of course, it's gonna take longer to recover. You need to give your body all the nutrients it needs, the sleep, the rest it needs in order to recover. So if you put all the variables in place, I think you'll recover much quicker and easier. So what I've learned is really the importance of pacing yourself. It's super important because if you don't pace yourself, then you might be prey to, what I've done in the past, which is taking really intense periods of work, like working super hard until you burn, and then you take a long time off, and then you work again until you burn, and then you take some time off. I think that's not super sustainable. What you should do instead is split into sort of manageable chunks. And you can stop when you feel sort of like 50% tired instead of when you feel 100% tired. Because if you push yourself to 100% every single day, then it's just going to be too much stress in your system, in my opinion. You're going to kind of know when to call it quits. So for example, in lifting, there's this analogy of this sort of 1 rep in the tank. And what that is, a lot of lifters, especially beginners, or, what people tell you in the fitness industry is like, always push to failure until you can no longer push a single weight off the bar. And this is sort of the mindset that they teach. But I think that can be damaging, especially if you're planning on lifting in a very long term, right? You don't want to be lifting just for 6 months and quit. Going to failure every single set, as in you're not even able to lift the bar, it's very taxing to your nervous system, and it's sort of pushing yourself to your upper limits every single time. Okay, I think I'm running out of battery soon. Okay, we'll try to make this quick. So anyways, instead of, let's say that's your maximum, if you're listening to this audio only, right? You have to look at me for me to make sense. So watch me on the camera. So if your maximum capacity is here, okay, and this is your workout, you don't want to always push maximum capacity every time, in my opinion, right? Because then it's going to be very hard each time, to progress the next work session. You have to go here. And you have to push the ceiling every single time. And pushing that ceiling is just going to be very hard, in my opinion, especially each workout. But instead, what you do, this is the ceiling. This is your maximum work capacity. So you work out all the way to here. So you live 1 rep in a tank. So you stop at like 50-60% tired before you get to 100%, so you have enough time to recover. Okay, and then the next session, you push a bit higher, but by that time your work capacity will have increased if you work out the right way, just the right amount of stress. So then you will go up like this without ever sort of touching the ceiling and you sort of get your head against the wall. Because instead of doing this, right, and leaving a rep in the tank, most people, they bang their head against the wall like this, trying to do progress. And going back to burnout, I think that's the same in terms of working at your job, working in your own business, personal development. Even you can burn out on personal development, you can burn out on anything. You can burn out on meditation. If you force yourself to meditate, and you start hating meditation because you force yourself to do it, anything, right? So that's really important. So as an analogy, sort of going back to business, what I've realized also sort of transition back into what I've been doing and sort of the direction of my channel and all that. And if you've been wondering about why you can no longer book consultations and all that, it's because the way I was setting up my consultations before is that you could auto book your consultation whenever you wanted. You just click on the link and you choose a time, and you can talk to me, any time of the day almost. And the problem with that is that I felt like I had no control over my schedule, because you would decide when the call would be, right? So then you would choose a time, and then it would automatically show up on my calendar. And then whether I wanted to do a call on this day or not, or whatever, I had to do it. And then because I accepted nearly 100% of calls, that made me burn out. So instead, I realized that what made me burn out isn't talking to you guys. It's actually the fact that I felt like I had no control over my schedule. So instead now, I only take calls, with clients, if you email me, for example. Or if you ask me for a call, then we have to book a call together, and we choose a time that we both sort of agree to, instead of you just sort of popping on my calendar, on a Monday morning at like 9 a.m. I'm like, oh shit, I wasn't ready for that, but here we are. Now you have to actually email me, or I will actually reach out to you for a call instead, so I have full control over, who I talk to. Going back to burnout, it's important. If you've been burning out in whatever aspect of life, you have to ask yourself why. In a sense of lack of control, to me, was a reason for burnout. It could be anything. Lack of control can create more stress. Maybe for other people, it's a lack of connection. Maybe you work isolated. Other people, maybe it's a lack of freedom. A lack of freedom, as in you feel like have your creativity stifled. There could be many reasons, so you want to ask yourself why. So those are pretty much my tips on how to deal with burnout and what I've done so far. I'm probably going to do another video maybe in a few weeks or a few months about my recovery from burnout. Now about my channel. I plan on doing videos still, but it's going to be on a less consistent schedule. I'm not going to be doing videos every Sunday like I've said, or like you've seen on my YouTube banner. Now, why is that? Well, because having this freedom as to I'm able to do a video whenever I want, or when I don't want, I can rest, I think is really helpful for sort of my recovery and my mental health. And because having this sort of strict schedule, I don't think it helps my recovery in a sense. Maybe in a few months when I'll really feel on top of my game, I'll go back to, every single week without fault making videos. But for now, I think it's just healthier for my recovery to stick to a loose schedule. And also I want to do that because my YouTube goals have changed in a way. Before, I really cared about having a lot of subscribers, growing my channel, getting more views, which is why I was publishing more consistently. Now I've realized really throughout the months of, deep reflection, meditation, contemplation, and I even did shrooms a few months ago, and I had this, those deep realizations that what makes me happy in life is just working on this business, making videos once in a while, having my girlfriend, having my close friends, and have some time to enjoy my hobbies on the weekend, for example. And that's it. Honestly, that's it. I don't need to have a lot of subscribers. I don't need a lot of money. I'm financially fine. I'm not super rich. I'm not poor either, and I'm doing fine. And that makes me happy. And for that reason, I don't have this sort of need to strive to get 1 million subscribers, which is why I'm not going to upload as much. Simple as that. And my ideal goal here is, instead of making a lot of videos that are sort of okay, or like decent in quality, I want to make, fewer videos, but of higher quality that are longer. And what really fascinates me is going infinitely deep on one topic instead of, spreading myself thin and talking about 100 different things. Even if only 200 people see the video, I don't really care. If it helps one of you guys, I'm going to be happy. And I really don't care about subscribers now. And, some people, sometimes I see comments on my videos like, oh, your channel is underrated, you deserve so many more views. And, I've also had hate comments telling me my channel isn't working and it's trash because I've been doing videos for I don't know how many years. I only have 200 views per video. I had like one really shitty comment about that, but I don't give a shit because I do the content I want. You watch it, amazing. If you don't watch it, whatever, unsubscribe. That's it. And my face is so itchy now. I have to itch every single minute. I haven't put in that mask on in months. I think I'm not used to it. And that's it. So to me, YouTube is, yes, a business tool, but above all, it's my passion. It's my passion. It's my purpose. But beyond that, I don't want it to become sort of a crutch, sort of to make money. And I don't like being dependent on YouTube for my income. That's also another thing. Because, I've heard horror stories of channels getting taken down that had millions of subscribers. They get taken down because of something terrible happens because they get canceled. And there's dozens of horror stories like that. I'm sure you've heard them, like channels that just disappear, and then you have to appeal the ban. You have to talk to the sort of YouTube admins or whatever, so free to unban you. And it's terrible. And technically, this YouTube channel, that I'm shooting videos from, technically it's not my channel. It's YouTube's channel. It's YouTube's, right? Every video that I publish on YouTube is pretty much their video. That's it. I mean, yes, I have the file. I've created the content. I own the content. But technically, if it's on YouTube, YouTube can do whatever the hell they want with my channel. They can delete it, they can suspend it, whatever. Therefore, I cannot become too attached to my channel. And if whatever would have happened, honestly, it would be fate, but I still want to have hope that I can continue to share my message in other ways and continue with helping people, which is what I'm doing with my coaching. So yeah, YouTube, I want to keep it for fun, also as a business tool that can help, maybe 10%. But YouTube isn't, I don't want to be dependent on YouTube also. So also, I don't really care about making millions of views anymore. So that's just as a tangent. So in conclusion, to recover from burnout, make sure you listen to your body, listen to yourself, learn to pace yourself, and do all of the recovery strategies that I've talked about, and read about burnout and study burnout so that you can get better. That's my tips for that. I don't have a specific date for my next video. As I said, my schedule is going to be a lot more loose, so you might see a video, one video per month. Maybe the next month I'll release 4 videos, 1 per week. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. But you can expect higher quality videos, longer videos, right? And between those videos, expect longer rests, longer breaks, because I think that, as I've said, I work better in a cyclical manner. So I'll release a few videos and then I'll take a break for a few weeks and I'll release a few videos and so on and so forth. I'm going to do a video on how to deal with depression the holistic way, not in terms of holistic medicine, but just like thinking about every single aspect of your life And now that you can expect this video soon. It's gonna be a massive video, about probably at least an hour long, along with other topics, similar topics, touching on personal development, mental health, and also psychology. I think you're really going to enjoy these videos. So stay tuned for more. Make sure you click the bell notification, and I'll see you next time. Peace.